Okay, it's Friday, and want to keep going with the primary chords. Let's move to a different key. It's going to be a very closely related key. Make sure I'm level here. Hang on. Okay, so we're going to go to F blues. And what I want you to do is to figure out the primary chords in F blues and the notes for those chords, and then that gives you notes to build melodies around. I'm not going to take 25 minutes again to go through that, but so I've got my F scale. Now, so let me talk to trombones and rhythm. So we're talking F blues. So the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord. Okay, so the 1 chord is an F. Okay, go to the 4th scale degree, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4 chord is B flat. And then the 5th scale degree, the 5 chord is C. Now guys, you've learned 2 of these already, because in the B flat blues, your 1 chord was B flat, your 5 chord was F. Those notes are going to be exactly the same. So the only thing that's new here is your 5, okay, the C chord. So like I said, when you learn these chords and other keys, when you move to especially closer related keys, B flat, F, E flat, they have a lot of the same notes in them. You've already gotten half the battle done. Okay, so 12-bar blues, the 1 chord is the first 4 measures. The 4 chord is measures 5 and 6, back to the 1 and 7 and 8. Measure 9 is a 5, measure 10 is a 4, and then 11 and 12 back to the 1. So I've got my F. So F, A, C, 1, 3, 5. My 4 chord, B flat, 4, 6, 8, B flat, D, F. My 5 chord is 5, 7, and then 9, C, E, G. All right, let me talk to trumpet and tenor. Okay. So since you guys go up a step, this is G blues for you. Okay. So your 1 chord is, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 1 chord is G. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 chord is C. And then the 5 chord is D. Okay, so the 1 chord is a G, so 1, 3, 5, G, B, and D. 4 chord is 4, 6, 8, C, E, and G. And then your 5 chord is 5, 7, 9, D, F sharp, and A. So trumpet tenor, there's your chord tones for the 3 primary chords. And then lastly, alto bari, okay, F blues. So F concert blues is your D. You can see why Roman numerals are so much easier. So we don't have to talk about all the different keys. B, E, F sharp, G, A, C, B, C sharp, and D. Now, guys, I'm going on the assumption you know these scales. If you don't, you got to learn them. I'm throwing these notes up for the D scale, and I'm just not pulling random notes into that sequence of notes. That's a D major scale. Okay, so that's your 1 chord, your 4 chord, your 5 chord. Okay, so 1, 3, 5. For alto bari, D, F sharp, A. Your 4 chord, 4, 6, 8. Okay, is G, B, and D. And then your 5 chord is an A. 5, 7, and then 9. And that's A, C sharp, E. All right, so that's F concert blues, and I went through each instrument type and the key that puts you in, and then the 3 primary chords. Take that, and I want you to improv in F blues. Okay, I'll put a backtrack on there like the B flat blues, it'll be an F. You know, a suggestion, you could put a little structure, and actually some of you have been doing this. Let one chorus play by itself just to be an introduction, get yourself ready to play on the first chorus. You know, maybe do it really, really simple. Just play the chord tones. You know, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. Shows me you know the chord progression and then the notes of each chord. And then maybe on that third and final chorus, then if you want to see if you can fancy it up, throw the flat thirds, flat sevens, even other notes as well. So you're kind of adding difficulty. Again, if you're a beginner, it's probably all you can do to keep up with what we're talking about right now. So you just may want to stick with those chord tones. That's cool. But if you've been doing this and you've had this, then see if you can spice it up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to have a real blunt thing to say right here. But there's folks who are waiting to get into this ensemble. Okay, and what you guys, and of course, those of you that are watching this, I'm kind of preaching to the choir because it's probably the folks who won't watch this that need to hear it. But I'm going to just, for the record, say this. You need to understand the reality of our school year. Okay? Maybe we get lucky and we hit green and we stay there. I hope so. You know, but this virus is what it is, and viruses spread. Okay, so if we have a hot spot and an outbreak happen, we shut down. Okay, and it's probably going to be for a few weeks. Guess what? We're right back to online. This is our world. And I'm seeing more and more of you could get on board with that, and hopefully you're seeing the work from your teachers have a lot more depth and value to it. Because honestly, I'm trying to do what I would be doing in class for jazz. It's where when we actually get to play together, we can just kind of pick it up. Okay, but if we're having to backtrack because we're catching people up who were too lazy to do all this, okay, that's you can hear the frustration, all right? Okay, so you've got to get on board with this online school, and you got to do your work. Okay? You know, this is just me speculating. It's not anything I know, but I think there's a pretty darn good chance, guys, that we're going to have times where we're going to have to shut down, let the virus abate, and then we can start it back up again. Okay, then the virus isn't going anywhere, so it's probably going to happen again. So, you know, let's value that in-school time that we do get, but when we're out of school, you've got to take care of business. Okay? And like, honestly, I said this, I think, in yesterday's video. In a lot of ways, you'll come out ahead because you're having to teach yourself so much. Hopefully, I'm giving you enough that you're able to do that, but really, when you can do it yourself, you'll never forget it. All right, end of Mr. Belt lecture time. Have a good weekend. Hey, for some of you may have already clicked out, I'm going to put a second video. I'm just going to go through F blues, building a melody. I promise it'll be short.